Hey guys, this is Anita. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my July TBR. I had a bad reading month in June. I was in reading slump most of the month. I managed to read a few at the end of the month with the help of audiobooks. I will talk more details about why I was in slump and how many I finished in my June wrap up. All I can say now is I have 6 carryovers from June. You can guess how my reading went in June. So those 6 carryovers plus my commitments and buddy reads in July, I have total around 14 books, almost like 3 months TBR. I don't want to get overwhelmed with all the books, so I listed down all of them and divided them into 3 groups. One group I moved to August, some even to September. So these other 2, there are priority reads which I'm definitely going to read in July, and there are MBR books. Actually, there are only 2 MBR books which are also actually priority reads. I have to read them in July, but I cannot fit all of them in July. So for now, I am putting them in MBR. If I have time, I'll get to them, or I'll read them in the beginning of August. So the first book in my TBR is No Heart for a Thief by James Tulin. I already started this book. I was 100 pages into it when my slump hit. I don't want to have a bad reading experience because of my slump, so I put it aside, but I am enjoying it. I'm not sure if you can see it. I tabbed it extensively. I highlighted so many lines. I'm not sure if you can see. I am loving it actually. It is a slow read, so I want to give it all my attention. I'll definitely continue this in July. And the next book in my TBR is The Hammer by KJ Parker. I already read 2 books, Folding Knife and The Company by KJ Parker, and those 2 became my favorites. Parker's writing worked for me, his cynicism worked for me, and I really like the humor in his writing. I have been meaning to read this book from a long time. I keep pushing it because there is no audiobook for this. There are no audiobooks for most of the Parker books actually, but this is definitely a priority in July. I am buddy reading this with Pete, Evie and Caro. They're actually very kind and understanding every time I push this, but I don't want to do it again. Definitely happening in July. And the next book on my TBR is The King's Blood by Daniel Abraham, book 2 in Dagger and Coin series. I read book 1 Dragon's Path in May and I loved it. It became my favorite book this year. If I have to pick one series that I'm excited to read this year, that is Dagger and Coin. I want to stick to this read along no matter what happens, but because of my slump I did not get to King's Blood in June. That physically hurts me actually, that I did not even get to the series written by my favorite author. So this is definitely happening in July. And the next book on my TBR is Uncharted Sky by Curtis Craddock. This is book 3 in the Rising Kingdoms trilogy. I loved book 2, A Labyrinth of Science and Sorcery. I had so much fun following these characters. If I enjoy book 3 as much as book 2, this trilogy will definitely make my favorite series list. I like the setup for this book. I'm ready for another adventure with John Claude, Isabel and Murray. And the next book on my TBR is Wishful Ascending by J.C.M. Byrne. This is another carryover from June. I heard many great things about this book. I heard that it's fun. The more I am excited, the more it's getting pushed. Definitely happening in July. Call me out if I don't read it. Definitely happening. And the next book on my TBR is Ebony Song by P. Jelly Clark. This is coming out on July 25th. I got the arc from NetGalley. This is actually an African inspired fantasy, and this is a middle grade. I really liked the premise when I read it. I think I requested the arc at the end of December or January. I forgot the premise also now. This is about a song. Obviously, that's on the title. Anyway, it is a middle grade, so I'm hoping it reads fast, and it is not that long actually. It is only around 300 pages, so I think I can fit this in. These 6 are my definite reads. I am only planning 6 in the definite reads list because 3 of these books doesn't have audiobooks, so they will take some time for me. As I said, I have 2 books in my MBR. So the first one is Fool's Assassin by Robin Hobb. We finished Rainwell's Chronicles last month and ready for the final trilogy. This is actually July read as per our read along schedule, but usually our live shows are on the first Sunday of the next month and they happen in my channel, so I have control on them when to schedule. So I'm hoping to read this first thing in August and finish before the live show. If I have time, I will start it at the end of the month. And the next book in my MBR is Bone Shroud by Andrew D. Meredith. This is book 2 in Collection Saga. I read Deathless Beast book 1 in January and I loved it, and I immediately knew that I am going to read this book in June, but you know what happened in June? Nothing happened. I didn't want to push it actually, because book 3 is coming out soon at the end of August and I'm definitely going to receive the arc for that. So I want to finish book 2 by then and be ready to read arc. So if this doesn't happen in July, definitely first thing in August. I said first thing for Fool's Assassin, right? So second thing in August. If you have realized, my TBR is missing Daughter of the Empire by Raymond Feist and Johnny Words. That's Alan's read-along book for July. We are starting Empire Trilogy, but I haven't yet finished Uncharted Sky, which is supposed to be June read-along book. We are behind. I am behind. So I will read Uncharted Sky this month and read this first thing in August. That is third time I'm saying first thing. Third thing in August. So that's it for my July and half of August. I hope I'll get to all of these. I don't want to repeat what happened in June. So fingers crossed. Let me know what you're planning to read in July. See you in the next video. Bye bye.